I feel like we should be able to pre-save tickets already because these voices are going to be so good in an arena setting. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jeff. So in this video, we're going to check out the remaining members of Baby Monster. So we have 3 left that I haven't done. So we have Rora, Pharita, and Ruka. So as usual, I'm gonna do a reaction of the entire thing and then go back to dissect whatever I can tell you guys a little bit about the performance aspect. All right, let's get to it. Oh my god. It's like the first. Woo! Woo!
Why do you always gotta push me? You know how to do it, baby. Every single bottle, ready to leave before I lose control. We took it too far, said too many bad things. I don't want the last word, last word. Let this be the last word we share. Why do we yell if we don't care? On some rich, I'll keep you warm.
Oh god. Oh my god.
Say something now. Say something now.
Oh my god. It's so exciting to hear these kind of vocals coming out of these youngsters. It's just incredible to see this kind of talent this early on. I'm kind of like low-key scared how good these girls will be like on the debut because these evaluations are like so good. And they've been so consistent. I don't think we've had anybody come out of this of these previews and like not be up to par. Like the standard that was put, it was so high already at the very beginning and they sustained it and they just kept going up and up and up. Okay, let's go through her incredible singing. Oh my god. I was pretty much speechless there. Like I'm just like in awe. Like definitely giving Ariana Grande vibes, actually. A hybrid of Ariana Grande and Camila Cabello. Just the tone of that. That's how you know when someone is like musically gifted, when they can just hum and there's like timbre, there's resonance, there's texture, there's colors to those. That's how you know they're gonna be good. That's why I smiled right off the bat, like when it was just like the first round of like notes. I knew that it was gonna be good. Like, you can just tell right from the first note. Like, if this was The Voice, I would have pressed my button already. And it was like several notes.
You don't wanna try me. You're better off thinking, messing with my vibe.
Such a beautiful textured tone. At 14 years old, this is actually very, very rare. Like the roundedness can be developed as you grow older, but the texture is not something that's always there, even if you grow older. I mean, even if, like just staying 14 forever, even when you grow older, sometimes texture just does not develop. It's a very particular type of vocal texture and vocal character. It's not clean, but like in a good way. Like it's kind of like there's edge to it. What those kind of textures are really good for are like the lower notes. The lower notes are so full of personality.
And I cannot show anyone and how you lie.
Nice.
I ain't that
Vibrato.
Why do you always gotta push me? You know how to do it, baby. Every single bottle, ready to leave before I lose control. We took it too far, said too many bad things. I don't want the last word, last word. Let this be the last word we share. But we only we don't care. Also rich, I'll keep you warm.
Great, like, oh my god, I didn't even want to like stop there. Great vocal control, and there's so much soul in the voice, and in the delivery too. I still get a sort of innocence too, which is such a great combination, because normally when there's a rounded, full texture in a voice, the innocence isn't always there. It sounds, the voice texture sounds like usually a voice of a person who's been through a lot, the heartache, the wariness, the pain, the struggle, like those kind of things that happens in life are usually a great complement to a textured vocal tone. But with her, the way she's singing, because she's so young, the innocence is such a great rare contrast to the vocal texture, and the way she was breathing, you know, like the punches in the attacks of like each bar there, or each section of the phrasing. The breath technique there was really nice, because it kept going and going and going, and then until that takeoff. That's why I couldn't like pause, because I wanted to see that like full section where she was going with it. It was just flawless the way she did it.
I'll keep you warm.
And that her like higher tone, it's piercing. It's piercing in a good way, very resonant. It doesn't thin out. Hers becomes like more of a sweeter tone, but like it's piercing and resonant. So that will be great for arenas. It doesn't get swallowed up. And would be great for dance songs too, because usually with dance songs there's a lot of instrumentation. And so you need a voice that will not be swallowed by it. Like what we're hearing so far from everybody, you know, that like upper register is very resonant, and piercing. So they won't get swallowed up by the instrumentation. Her falsetto is gorgeous. Like, she kind of just like took a breath and like, here you go. I feel like her and Chiquita have kind of a very similar level of vocal skills, especially because of their age. Like, you know, it's quite it's just 1 year apart, you know, from like the texture to the storytelling, and also to like the falsetto shifts. That part was very Camila Cabello, I think.
It's about time we rip that thing up. Whoa.
Love that part.
Say something now. Say something now.
Those like end notes are just like so emotional. Yeah, these girls are ready. Okay, next one is Pharita from Thailand.
Thought when I grew up I'll be the same as the ones who gave me my last name. But we're not given, we not partake in the same old dreams everyone else takes. I'm better than that.
Oh.
I'm better than that. I'm living my life so I go to heaven and never come back.
Hey.
But look where I'm at. Look where I'm at. I'm living the life that I said I wouldn't, I wanna go back. I used to call my mom every Sunday, so she knew her love wasn't far away. But now I'm all messed up out in LA, cause I care more about what other people say.
Hey.
I used to not take chances with God's name.
Oh my God.
It's been so long
Preach.
since I last prayed, and now I'm all messed up and my heart's changed, cause I care more about what other people say. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh my God, so effortless.
Cause I care more about what other people say.
Hey. Oh my She ate that. That was so easy for her. You can tell it was so easy. And I'm just like, okay, okay, all right. Just like whip your hair. And she just breathed. And that was like, that's how easy if it was for her. It's just as easy as breathing. It's so natural. With her, it started very clean. Her voice is actually not as textured as the other ones. Which makes a very good contrast, or not really a contrast, which complements the others really well because it gives a variety of like vocal tones, which would be incredible for like line distribution. Because then you would have some clean tones and then some resonant tones, some textured tones, some that are full of colors, and then when it's like that, the amount of genres that you can go to is going to be very, very diverse. Your discography is going to be very, very diverse. We're going to have a lot of different type of songs, and this them as a group will fit into those different genres very easily. It's kind of like, okay, if you want like a clean tone, okay, you got Pharita. You want like a more of an emotional tone, you got a Chiquita. You want more like a dancey vibe song, you go to Ion. You know those kind of things. The diversity in vocal tones is gonna be very, very good. And I'm like, they're all freaking talented. Like, what the hell?
I grew up, I'll be the same as the ones who gave me my last name. We're not given, we're not part.
So the R's and there's a certain like twang to the pronunciation. Her vocal tone is clean, but she like that kind of twang, like I'll call it a twang because I don't know how to like explain that. It's a stylistic choice, like the way they pronounce the R's. It's like here, that one like kind of like the inflections in the voice, and that one, we're not like. It's almost Australian. So those things are stylistic choices, but that are very evident in all of them, in all of the vocalists. They all have that. So it's kind of like Rosé's and like Jenny's way of singing. I think it's just something that YG loves. And that kind of singing is also very, very trendy and current for like the younger generation. Those kind of voices aren't as popular back then. Like the way of singing has shifted. The styles have shifted in the last like 10 years. If you watch a lot of like American Idol, a lot of like X Factor, you'll see the difference in the way people sing before, like Kelly Clarkson's era versus now. It's going to be very, very different. The style that like recording producers love.
I'm better than that. I'm better than that. I'm living my life so I go to heaven and never come back. But look where I'm at. Look where I'm at. I'm living the life that I said I wouldn't. I want to go back.
Those stylistic choices, the way she's pronouncing things and letting notes go, it's not forced at all. It's like breathing for her, which is very interesting.
I used to call my mom every Sunday, so she knew her love wasn't far away. But now I'm all messed up out in LA, 'cause I care more about what other people say.
God, her resonance. Yeah, I feel like we should be able to pre-save tickets already, because these voices are going to be so good in an arena setting, in an arena, stadium, a dome. That like resonance within the speakers would just be so good to hear live. Like, these are the type of voices that you should pay for.
I used to not take chances with God's name, but it's been so long since I last prayed.
Okay, you know what? She's not doing a lot on her face, but her voice is doing all the like expressions. It's a very expressive tone and vocal that she has. Normally when you want to add a little bit of style or texture or color or like some sort of expression in your voice, it would reflect on your face. The way if you want it to be sad, if you want it to be emotional, or if you want to be soulful, like there's a lot of facial expressions that would kind of like, it's kind of like musical theater, right? Like you're telling a story. Her face doesn't really change, but her voice is doing all the work, which says a lot about her vocal technique. Basically, it's like if you want to reach certain notes, sometimes it does automatically pull your face to like do expressions to hit those notes. If you guys are singers, you guys would know what I mean. But if you're able to really control your vocal technique without pulling your face or like, you know, doing like all these facial expressions to reach the notes, that means you have a very good technique. You see that a lot in musical theater. Yes, in musical theater, you can be very expressive because of the storytelling, but at the same time, a lot of those singers in musical theater, they can just have a straight face and sing because their instrument supports the voice enough in comparison to someone who is quite self-taught. When you're self-taught, you don't really realize or learn a lot about the proper way to sing, because there is a proper way to sing, which a lot of musical theater or like vocal majors will know about. There's a whole science behind your throat and your diaphragm. A lot of self-taught people don't know how to do that. So because of that, the face and the body kind of moves to the way so that you can reach certain notes. You know, for example, like we get this a lot, you know, when you sing a high note that like it does really require a lot of energy, you know, you either go up like this or you go like up like that, right? To reach those high notes. That's a normal thing for people who are self-taught, or for someone who doesn't have a lot of knowledge about the science of like the singing techniques. But if you go to like Broadway, you would see Broadway singers who would stand still and do all those like high notes without their like face or like their head moving. So that means that they have a very good knowledge of their like vocal capabilities and the technique that is needed to project those notes without having to like scrunch up your face or like tilt your head up or like tilt your head down, you know, those kind of things. So with her, I have a feeling, I don't know how trained she is, but like she's giving me that vibe where she can just be like stand still, sing, and like do all the acrobatic stuff, you know?
And now I'm all messed up and my heart's changed, 'cause I care more about what other people say.
Like those are high notes that she's reaching. Those are high notes, and like she's barely moving her face, you know? She would tilt like that, but that I feel like that's more on the performance aspect. It's not really like to hit notes, because the follow-up notes were just as high, and she kind of just like this.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
My God, it's just like breathing.
'Cause I care more about what other people say.
God. All right. Next, we're gonna go to Ruka. I think she's gonna be rapping. This is a performance video.
Yeah. Ay, I just want a bad boy to make me feel good. Yeah. Make me feel good. I just want a bad boy to make me feel good. Make me feel good. Make me feel great. Yup. Watch me kiss your boyfriend. Oh, it do not matter, it's a small bang. He gon' write it down like you stolen. Working like a disco blind to the rest. Break a little thing, throw in my direction. Making this feel like a bad kid. Let you step it, I ain't been. Moving like this is the 8th grade. Been the same, no I ain't changed. Voila, talk money, talk dollars. Snap back, pair of marks, trick of boxes. Your boy to me, then you vanish like voila. Treat these boys like some diamond. I know, but to blow pop icon like a lightning bomb, make it rain, shut ya. Nobody bringing me down, they get different, and they get on my way, I'm on a different level.
Hey.
Just in the making money, tongue, girl, talking, I'm 24/7, okay, we inside, shimmer. YG 보이지 다른 건 무관심 꼼꼼히 생각했대로 가라 지금 봐 take voila all about take voila 봐 take voila 지금 봐 take voila all about take voila
Great performance energy.
about take voila
Hey.
yeah everybody in the streets they know
Hey. For some reason, her vibe reminds me of Jessie. Like I feel like she would be like a younger Jessie. Let me know if you guys are getting the same vibe. Great energy. Obviously, she can rap. I don't know much about rapping, that's why I'm not gonna dissect that. But what I do feel like is the other rapper, Asa, is a much more well-versed rapper than her. Because in these like evaluations, normally you would want to show off what your full capabilities are, because that's just a normal thing for auditions. You wanna be able to show your everything. If that period in your training is what determines if you're gonna debut or not, you want to give it your all. So you gotta pick the right songs that will highlight all of your skills, all of it. You're not going to leave anything behind, because this is a make it or break it moment. You're not going to be like, oh wait, but I can do this too. Oh wait, no, you can't. You know, you have one song, choose the best song that you can do and that you can show off your skills. So with Asa, I feel like she chose a much better song that shows off everything. It had a lot more dynamics than this one. It had a lot of different pacing. You know, it was soft, it was fast, it was like double, it was like times 2, times 3. And it had different like levels in volume as well. So I feel like Asa's capability for the rapping is just a little bit more advanced than Ruka. Given between the two songs, I don't know, maybe Ruka didn't choose like a more complicated song than her. Like, of course, what she did is still very difficult. It's just in comparison between the two, I think Asa has a little bit more give. Yeah, but Ruka, still great. I think she'll do well. Okay, so reading my comments from the dance video, it seems like the one that I liked a lot is Ruka. So that makes sense. If Ruka is more advanced in the dancing aspect, then the rapping normally doesn't need to be as extensive. If I were to give positions, I would give Asa the main rapper position than her. So that makes sense actually. So it doesn't diminish her talent because she can dance her bum off, you know? It's a great balance across the board. So now we've seen all of BABYMONSTER. Oh my god, this is going to be a very, very well-rounded talent. So at this point, it's like, how good will the debut song be? How good will their styling be? How good will their choreographies be? As much as we need songs that will fit their vocal capabilities, we also need choreographies that will fit their dancing capabilities. For a debut song anyway, like I get it, you know, you can't always produce heavy hitting choreography or a vocally difficult vocal performance in a song. Like, of course, you know, you don't always have to do that to show off like your skills. But I think for the debut, I think it's almost essential that we see their full capabilities in one song, because our attention span is really short. There's a lot of groups coming out every month. There's a lot of comebacks. So the first impression is going to be very, very important, right? So like just meet that excitement, you know, and you'll have a great debut. That's really, it's not easy, but that's all it takes. Meet the expectations of the consumers, which is us, and you'll be fine. Yeah. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching with me today. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, do like and subscribe, and if you do subscribe, make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss any content from me. And if you'd like to get to know more about me, do check out my Instagram, TikTok, and Patreon down below.